Black Friday edition of Sky Notes. We've got a real treat. Astrologer Lesley Francis is here with us. We're talking about moon signs and gift giving. So if you've ever wondered what to buy for loved ones that'll light them right up, this one's for you. And Lesley hosts her own show, AstroSoup. Use the link in the description to check her out. Let's go. Good morning.
Morning.
Lillian's muted.
No. I'm wearing the brightest colors I could find.
I went for Christmas.
I love it.
We'll do a whole live when I try to guess what Lillian's saying while she's muted.
That's a good idea.
No.
I think we might have to be a little bit high, but
Well, I'm sure that could be arranged.
Wait a minute.
After all, in Canada, it's perfectly legal.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
right.
There
Right.
are places in the States too. So we're gathering to talk about gifts, right? I was showing you my brand new grizzly bear mask doll. And I was going to say, one of the difficulties of making things that are so unusual, I'm just going to jump right in. This is the doll. I can't give this to just anyone. For one thing, it's exquisite. And for another, if you don't recognize that it's exquisite, then I'm wasting your time. And how do I understand what other people want when I'm making such perfect gifts for them? That's why I've come today.
Well, it's ironic as an astrologer, I have never used that as a way to pick gifts astrology. I've
Right.
written about it, but I've never actually done it.
Oh, I do it all the time. When I think about someone's moon, I do cater to it for sure.
What a lovely thing.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah. But you're right. And there are many cases where I don't know someone's moon sign. And I wouldn't know where to start,
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
My general thing is because I have Leo rising,
Lovely.
so I ask people what they want. Because
Oh, so good. I love a direct queen.
well, and then the other thing, of course, when I was growing up, was that we were always asked to allowed to ask for one thing that we really wanted,
Yes.
and it was really lovely because we always got it.
Oh,
Unfortunately, life doesn't always work the same way
no.
as my childhood Christmas presents.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was often baffled by Christmas. Tracy, you were going to say something?
Nope. Go ahead. Not important.
I'll do it. I was going to say, so I have a much older brother, and I am not sure where he got his gift giving skills from. But when I was a kid, 6 or 7, he would habitually bring over an unwrapped gift and put it on the couch. And I wouldn't know whose it was or what it was. And so I would ignore it. And then he'd go, "Ah, you don't like my gift?" And then I would just be like, I don't understand this. What is this process? I don't know where to go with this. What's going on?
And where's his moon?
He has a Taurus moon and a
Okay.
Virgo sun. So he's kind of protected, right? In an ivory tower. There's a lovely vibe there, probably.
Oh no, but that's pretty whimsical for moon and Taurus, Sun, and Virgo.
Oh, he's yeah. He is
Interesting.
that. He is that. Yeah.
Hmm. What I was going to say is that in our house, because you guys were talking about when you were kids,
Yeah.
so my parents, my dad especially didn't really come from much, and both of my parents my mom has, my dad had a Taurus moon.
Oh,
And so we were given the Sears catalog in October when it came out, and we got to make a list, and we pretty much got everything
that's
just
wonderful.
because they were trying to recreate this, this whatever they were missing. Or in my mom's case, I think it was what was important to her was to feel like she could give us all the things.
Wow.
And so I mean, the negative side of that is you have those expectations your whole life that no matter what, whether you can afford it or not, you're going to get all the things. And so you can't necessarily live
Can't
up to
top
that.
it. kind of
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so interesting. So,
For sure.
so my moon's in Cancer. So anything that demonstrates care, I'm into. I do go by the trope of Cancers like boxes. Like, it is the dumbest thing. I'm like a cat. If you bring a box, I want it. I've got to put stuff in it. You know, the smaller the better. You know, so precious.
You don't try to get in it though.
No, I don't. I wanted to kind of leave that vague just in case, but no.
So you like a box the size of a refrigerator so you can get in it?
Listen, I thought I bought from Temu once one of those dog beds that I
Yeah.
was going to share with my cats. I was going to get in it with my cats. But
Nice.
fortunately, I did not purchase that because I don't know what I'd actually do with it in real life.
Sometimes
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Lesley.
I was gonna say sometimes your imagination is more fun than reality anyway. So
It is it's a comfort and sometimes an obstacle.
As I was looking at the moon signs and kind of thinking about themes for them, I hit the Cancer moon and I remembered a scene from Modern Family where Cam buys no, he doesn't buy anything. He gives Jay, the dad, this little box, tiny box. And right away, Jay's like, one man doesn't give another man a tiny box like that. But he opens it and it's the cork from the first bottle of wine they shared. And I was like, see, a Cancer moon, the nostalgia of that would be 1,000%.
And a container for it.
Yeah. Yep. And a tiny, precious little box. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny because the first moon I thought about this morning was the moon in Cancer. So
fun.
And I didn't think about any others because I just assumed something would show up.
So,
but for Kansas, I thought, well, you could get much the same as the cork, photos or anything that reminds them of the past. Like, for instance, your parents finding the teddy bear that you liked when you were a kid because they never got, or drawings that you made, or things that fill their hearts and make them feel warm, fuzzy, and safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if there's one thing that I always wanted as a child and never got, that would kind of be I feel like that would be a Cancer moon kind of.
I definitely went through that. I got a Hot Wheels racetrack, and I have tools. So I got all this stuff that I wouldn't have gotten because of the time I was raised.
Right.
Yeah. And then for a Cancer, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to bake and get stuff out the door for folks. And I'm not really that kind of person. That really is more my husband, but that idea comes up for me. And one of the things I wanted to hear about while we spoke was my Cancer moon is going to respond to your moon differently and your moon differently. And sometimes there'll be a clash. So maybe at some point we could talk about what moons might get confused by other moons, like an Aquarius moon. I'll give you one. And I don't feel confused by Aquarius moons, but I would get Aquarius moons. I would rely on my sign bringers. And so if I heard a store that I wasn't thinking about, I'd go to that store and see if there was a gift there. I would expect it to arrive kind of in its total shape. And I wouldn't be afraid to get something bold. I'd want to get something kind of bold. So in the past, that's been, maybe a lovely piece of jewelry, but it's also been like a book on Banksy, this artist who no one knows who that guy is, right?
Yeah. Actually, there's an exhibition at the Art Gallery in Edmonton of his works.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice.
The only reason I know it is because it keeps on coming up on Facebook.
Oh, I love that.
Nice.
Does that ring a bell for you, or does that sound appropriately moon in Aquarius, Lesley?
Well, I love Banksy. I just, of course, I love. We don't know who it is, so it could be. They're an outlier, so of course I like them.
Yeah.
But my moon is also a mutual reception with my Uranus, so I can also
love that.
And my Venus is an Aquarius, so I do love. I love Like I'm wearing these earrings that come from London, England, from a store
Oh,
called Patty Devine,
mm.
and they have off the wall kind of stuff that I like. And my friend in London, whose name is also Lillian, I always think it's interesting that Tracy and I both have. Well, I have two
Yep,
friends named Lillian, but
exactly. But you
um,
must have your own Lillian, because I am kind of Tracy's
obviously,
Lillian.
you're kind of what?
I'm kind of Tracy's Lillian. No offense to the other Lillians out
Oh
there.
no, it's fine. She's mine, and you're Tracy.
You guys are funny.
Uh, so yeah, so
Can I throw in? Can I throw in right now? I just want to, and tell me what you think.
Of course.
One of the things that came up when I was thinking about Aquarius moon was anything that makes you feel seen for who you really
Yes.
are, right? That like not who people think you are, not who people they think you want, but something that's really indicative of who you are.
well,
And
that they
feeling
see
seen.
you, that they know,
Yes.
what your interests are, because of course we all have, there are general themes we can talk about when it comes to moon signs. But in my case, I have a stellium in Aquarius, so and the irony is, don't give me technology.
Oh, no technology.
I like it when it works, but
But what if somebody got you 10 hours of tech support that you could
oh
just
yeah,
right?
oh
Right?
yeah, that would work.
Yeah, that
But
would be
I will say, I do think of Sagittarius as kind of the gadget one, maybe the mutables, but Sagittarius especially especially if it's wasting their time, would go investigate a gadget for a
Or
little
Virgo,
while.
or Virgo. Anything that makes things work more effectively.
Right,
Not,
right.
I always think that Virgo gets short shrift because it's not. Oh God, what? Now I can't remember whether it's not a. The, oh God. Okay, so let's just forget I brought that
Oh,
up
no,
because.
no, no. I want to hear. Here's what I was
Well,
thinking while
no,
you were
because
talking.
we always
Yeah,
think that it's about um,
process or
perfectionism.
perfection.
yeah, but it's does it work effectively? Because
Yeah.
there are lots of things that are not necessarily a straight line, but they
Yes.
work effectively because
Yes.
they open things up as opposed to got to be lockstep. See, I can't remember what the word is, and that's fine. Imagine I could, as a writer, could find a different way to describe
Oh,
it.
but it's a vibe. We're here vibing. I think about that with Virgo, and what I think about that is it allows for a wallow. I like a good wallow, and with the Virgo that I have, what ends up happening is I can wallow, but then I got to ditch everything, and then the efficiency starts to kind of fall
Oh,
into.
that was the word I was looking for. Effective, not
Efficient.
efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Lillian.
yeah.
See, the universe
But they're
provides.
both really important, to the Virgo. They do want that.
Well,
But yeah,
maybe not the Aquarius part of me. I do
mm,
have Saturn, but effective is more interesting than efficient.
Mm,
I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah. I think that sometimes with Virgo moon, something that has to do with health and self-care that they wouldn't do for themselves, but
Mm.
Mm.
given as a gift and they feel obligated to use it. I think that's kind of one of the
Oh,
secret Virgo things.
that
Well,
spa in Seattle. I used to get gift cards to the spa in Seattle, and it was the most delicious, I'll comply.
Right, right, right.
I think the other thing they really would is just gratitude for everything that they do.
Mm.
Some,
Isn't that
some gift that maybe, and something that they would never buy for themselves. It's really interesting because when I was growing up, my mother would always say, "Well, why give if you're going to give somebody a gift, give them something that they wouldn't give to themselves."
Oh, I love that.
So she was really not in favor of gifts that were necessarily practical in um like don't give somebody something that they would buy for themselves.
I think
Mm,
that's so interesting. So in my family, we were a single mom family with three girls, and um, there wasn't enough money for anything really. So we were just kind of holding on till we got to the end. And my mom was always more about service, right? Like, what can you do for service? And then as I've gotten older and met more people, there's an interesting thing about the folks who they want you to care about them all year and not just get a gift in September and drop it in a box or something. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that to judge. I think it's so beautiful. I'll give you an example. My sister has like a gift area for folks who show up during the holidays. Is that like crazy thoughtless consumerism? No,
Wow.
that is really considerate and like, prepared. And Pisces moon she has. Yeah. And for a Capricorn moon, I got my husband a knife sharpening stone, and it had to be the stone that he chose, and it could not be electric, and it, you know what I mean? Like, there was no point in blocking him and sharing specifically what he wanted. So I just went to the website and hit go. And then the next day, or whenever it showed up the next day, he's like in bliss. He's marked the knives and he's sharpening the knives. And he goes, I think it's sharp enough now. And then you hear the sort of comedic, oh, yes, it is sharp enough now. I've cut my finger. But with like the air signs want to be seen, so you get them to the parties, right? You let them organize the parties or perform in the parties, and the earth signs will help you start and finish it. And the fire signs are hilarious, so just make sure you have snacks for them and drinks, and point them to the door when you're done with them. The water signs,
I don't know if they'd respond well to being shown the door.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's hilarious. Anything for a party, right? I mean, not Leo. See, I've got the Sagittarius one.
But fire signs like to be important.
You're right.
They like to be important. Right. And so showing them the door might be their idea of, well, why are you getting rid of me?
I love that. I love that. As a Sagittarian, I think if you show me the door, I'm going to go through it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go to the next thing. But I love what you're saying, because it is to be important, right? It is to have the spark, to see the spark in the relationship. And the water would be to see the nourishment in the relationship.
Well, I think it's important that, that each element has a gift to give.
Mm-hmm.
And the challenge, of course, when you're buying for other people, is to remember it really is not, it's not about you. I know I did that one year when I was married, and in my ex's family, the adults picked names. And so there was a store here that was doing museum reproduction.
Oh, wow.
Fun things in there. I found this pendant that was a reproduction of something from, I think, medieval Italy. I can't remember. And so, of course, I thought this was the most fantastic thing. And I gave it to a woman who was a Virgo. And she wasn't pleased with it at all. But this is the part that I don't understand. So if you're going to go to all the trouble of telling me that you don't like it, and then I offer you the receipt so you can take it back, and then you refuse. It's like, that's like, okay, I'm going to.
It's such a beautiful
slapping
thing.
You across the face followed by a cold shower.
Well, what's the opportunity? I think about that because I definitely have blown gifts. Like for folks who are pre-diabetic, I got them Godiva chocolates because they host a lot. And I thought, oh, they can just put those in the corner. They don't have to buy them. They don't have to think about them. And they've got candy for other people. And they had a Taurus moon. And they did not appreciate me bringing them food that they cannot eat. That is a no. But nevertheless, it happens all the time. I've been disappointed by gifts and haven't been able to kind of hold my face together. And that's such an interesting thing, right? It's like, how do we find out what people want? And how do we, and And how do we take ourselves out of being centered in that? A friend of mine was telling me about that, getting gifts for kids. And they were like, don't think about yourself at all. Get a gift certificate, drop it on them, go with them, or give it to their parent. And voila, you've got an opportunity to go find out more about them instead of, yeah.
Oh, well, I just had to share this story from last year when I was in Toronto for Christmas, and I took my granddaughter shopping, and she's on the spectrum. She's Asperger's. So the sparkly shoes didn't work because we couldn't find any that suited her. She's very particular. So she's got moon in Gemini, and it's a balsamic moon. So her imagination has gone. So anyways, we're in Winners, and they had a section there with a bunch of Christmas toys, and she's looking and she says, oh, there's a Furby, Grammy. I like a Furby. I said, because I thought I'd heard the word Furby somewhere in the ethers at her house. So I said, so I thought you asked Santa for a Furby. Well, I did. Well, I'm not sure he's going to bring it, though. So I said, so last year, did you ask Santa for something? Yes. Did he bring it? Yes. I said, so that would obviously mean he's most likely to bring it again this year. Well, she said, I'm not convinced. So I said, okay, well, how about we make a deal? What's that? I said, if Santa doesn't bring you a Furby, Grammy will buy you a Furby, okay?
There you go.
Okay, but we have to, well, when's Santa coming? I said, not for a couple more days. She said, well, that's too long. Gemini, right? Anyway, so then she fixated on something else because Santa did bring her the Furby. And then, of course, we get it home, but it didn't come. It was something. Oh, I don't even. There's so many different kinds of dolls and of different sizes, and I can't keep up. So, of course, she picked something that doesn't come with the dolls, and then her mother had to go buy some dolls to go.
Oh, funny.
So, anyway.
I love that. Yeah.
That makes me think of, I don't know what I was reading, but it had something to do with Geminis and gadgets. And the worst thing you can do is not include the batteries, right?
Yeah.
Because they can't play with it right away. Yeah. And I was thinking, Lillian, when we were talking about the knife sharpening and how it came the next day and he was able to use it right away. I think that would be a cardinal sign thing, that don't make them wait too long to be able to access the gift. My Aries. Right.
Which of course brings us to your moon in Aries. So
yes.
Well, and like really often the thing I get really excited about is something to be excited about. So whether it's a date or a thing that we're going to do, or, some kind of an adventure, if it's good enough, I can definitely wait. Right. But if it's something that like should be immediate, then I definitely would lack patience for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. But what would satisfy you? What excites? What are some gifts that are like, that was a good one?
Well, I love gift certificates always, because then I get to do something by myself, which is a very Aries thing.
I have a question about that. Is it that you can do it by yourself, or is it that you can do it spontaneously?
It's all of those things, and it gives me permission to shop.
Right? Oh, I love that.
It takes away all of the, I feel bad because they probably shouldn't be spending money. If you give me a gift ticket, I have to. Yeah. And I can do it whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
And I could do it all by myself if I chose. It ticks all the boxes, right?
That's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
See, for sure. And I love gift giving, except it's going to be something of a chore. Only because, it's hard to find stores that have unusual things or things that meet my standards.
I understand completely.
My standards. Because my moon in Aquarius is just a little bit into the 6th a lot into the 6th and almost into the 7th. And I used to really enjoy gift giving and wandering around but there's not many places to. In fact, I would go to Mastermind Toys and spend a couple of hours in there just trying to find what I thought was the perfect gift. And so when my grandchildren were younger, I mean, Isla's only 8, so she's still in the young category, but all the rest of them are teenagers. So it's trying. They're mostly interested in gift cards.
Right, which I think is nice. You know, there's an autonomy to that. I wanted to say, when you were talking about gifts and a chore, there was a period in my life where I really felt so grateful for people who had kind of pulled me out of my noisy brain, I'll say. And so I got all of these thank you cards, and then I got a bunch of Christmas cards, and I love them so, and I sent them out, and some people really didn't like them at all. And I wonder now, I mean, I'll be thinking about this after the show, did they have an air sign moon and they didn't feel seen? Did I miss something? You know, I'm super curious about that. But as I was kind of grounding into our conversation about gifts, I keep thinking about where the world is and what we need and what kind of things help. And I can't help but go to the woo-woo place. And I almost brought a bunch of crystals in to show off, because I often think, and I think of crystals, I think of land, I think of your home, I think of grounding, I think of the oncoming, hilarious yet not maybe as grounded fire and air outer signs, outer planets that are coming up. And so I think crystals, I think not incense, but sort of ways to freshen the air. I think ways to kind of help people orient around their homes. And I do think of what it looks like for a year instead of a one-time gift. Do you know what I mean? And I know that's a lot. Like I was saying, I've got enough Virgo that I like a wallow first, but what that pans out to is a lot lighter and not really involving me. And I mean, there's exciting stuff coming out creatively because I'm focusing on those things, even if they never show up. Like, say I get someone a ticket to a Broadway show or something. I believe that I'm grounding myself enough so that I can see those other opportunities. So that's kind of how I think about it. I try not to waste anyone's time. And I also am very curious about how we connect ongoing. So I've kind of got it in my head that this is a social experiment until we die. And so what does it look like when we, you know, cross wires and share and come back and forth to each other?
Oh, that was very nice, Lillian, because it made me realize that I should get out, because Aquarians are famous for resisting almost anything. Just name it and they'll find a way to resist it. Resistant the ease of giving them exactly what they want without having to torture myself.
Yeah, right.
Myself. So, and yeah, I did. So everything shifts and changes, and
Yeah,
even when you don't like it.
And it's okay. I mean, to me, so in the times that I've not liked it, like I really have really good friends. So there was one time somebody gave me some paints and I was like, I'm not working in this medium. And I kind of got taken aside and it was like, you just got a really nice gift. Go say thank you. You know what I mean? You know, that thing we're communing. We're trying to bubble up to each other.
And maybe it was an invitation.
Exactly. It totally is. That's what I paint in now. So it's interesting, right? But I was under 25, so I claimed the defense of an unformed brain.
Well, you don't need to defend yourself. You just need to acknowledge that was.
Well, you know, I'm just thinking about that thing. I don't think it's a bad thing when you're thinking about gifts to know that there's a world where it may not land, right?
Oh, I know. Because when I decided at the end of my second year of university that I wanted to be a journalist, much to my surprise, I don't know why we were at the bank. I was with my dad, and he never told me, but he tells the bank manager that's what he always wanted to be, right?
Oh.
So fast forward like a lot of years, because at this point my dad's in his 70s, and one year for Christmas I gave him a journal and said, because he did have writing talent, I was acknowledging what I could see, and plus I gave him the very first book in the Conversations with God series.
Oh, wow.
And he hated it.
Oh.
And what he took from it was somebody telling him what to do when the message was exactly the opposite of that. But I chose in my wisdom at that point just not to bother arguing with him.
Yeah.
But and I don't know if he, as far as I know, he never used that journal, because when he passed, if it existed, it certainly wasn't passed along to either my sister or myself. So, you can be giving something that comes from your heart, right? And then
Yes.
it isn't received in the way that you hoped it would be.
Right. And that is just a common way we intersect. It doesn't have to be a blame or anything like that. Yeah. And, when I think about how difficult it is, I love, if you said to me, what do you want as a gift? I would go, oh my gosh, from you, my dear, something shiny, something sparkly, something gorgeous. I would tell you. That's the headline. There are people who don't want you to know what they want for a gift. There are
Scorpio moon. Scorpio moon.
There we go.
I once wrote a thing for the Edmonton Astrological Society, but it was based on sun signs. And I don't know why the Scorpio one is the one I remember, because somewhere I have the hard copy, but I don't know where the hell I put it. Was what to give a Scorpio, and I was trying to be tongue in cheek, was a party with 40 of their best friends.
One-on-one.
Which of course would torture them no end.
Exactly.
So Moon and Scorpio, well, anything that has a mystery attached to it, whether it's a mystery novel, or I always think of the book Holy Blood, Holy Grail, which is about,
oh wow, yeah,
the potential that Christ did not actually die on the cross,
right,
and all of all the potential evidence to support that. What else would you give a Scorpio?
Wasn't that the source for that movie Tom Hanks was in?
I think so. Yeah.
I wish I remembered the name.
I mean that, yeah. The novel was written by
Da Vinci Code.
The Da Vinci Code, yeah.
That's it.
I don't know.
Well, I once said Scorpio moon won't tell you what they want. They would like you to figure it out, and they won't tell you if you did figure it out.
Yep, pretty much.
And so the Scorpio moons in the room went, mm-hmm.
It's so private, right?
It is.
I know folks
torture.
who are
that is torture.
Well, and that's, here we are, right? 12 different moons, 12 different appetites. Because I know folks who have that Pluto conjunction in a Scorpio moon. And, I am a relentless prior of Chitons. I will ask all kinds of questions and slow down and speed up and do whatever. And nothing has shifted them. Nothing.
Well,
they are a mystery.
I have moon opposed Pluto. And I think what bothers me is that you didn't even try to figure it out.
Right.
What I might want.
Exactly.
Nor did you ask me. So, from
yes, because you've got the double whammy. You can ask me. I'm here.
I would say probably, tell me if you guys agree, that air signs, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, would be the ones to ask. Like, of all the signs,
I like that.
I feel like they would be the ones that would not be irritated by being asked for what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
They'd be off the hook.
Yeah.
I'll happily tell you if I can. Oh, which reminds me, I owe my son a Christmas list.
Well, and I cannot imagine a Sagittarius moon caring if you ask them. You know what I mean?
No. I
Yeah.
would say that like the fire signs also probably wouldn't mind.
Well, except for
Mm.
Leo, you want to be special, I think.
Oh, I don't think the Leo would have any problem answering that
Good.
question. They might have a list as long as your arm.
Yeah, here's Tiffany. Have you ever been to Fifth Avenue?
Or something heartfelt, like something
I love that.
something
Yeah.
that acknowledges. Fire signs like to be acknowledged. I mean, all signs like to be acknowledged.
I went to this store called the Scrap Depot here in town, and it is literally any accumulation of things. My favorite aisle is the manila folder aisle. I'll never buy a journal again. I'm always going to buy them at the Scrap Depot. But why I'm bringing it up is they had an entire wall of trophies, and every fire sign inside of me was like, why did I not bring a semi? I can't get all these trophies home with the car that I brought. I was so excited to see trophies, but I think I'm a rare person that doesn't need them to be attached to anything, and I'll still do it.
I was just that when you said trophies, I was thinking a Leo moon would likely really appreciate something that highlights an accomplishment. So
Yes.
say got a they've got an album. They've created an album and somebody famous has listened to the album. So something that shows that accomplishment and
Yes.
the vastness of it, or an author and their book being displayed in a magical place. I don't know, but something that highlights their accomplishments in some way. I think
I
a
like
Leo
that.
moon would appreciate.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
for sure. And all the fire signs, but Leo specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And earth signs practical,
I
right?
do like practical, but also refined, right? Because
Well,
it's not the first time at the rodeo kind of thing, right?
the moon in Taurus likes anything pretty
Lush.
or lush or sensual,
Yes.
something that adds to their environment. So
I put on perfume for you all,
something visual.
for example, even though we're online, because I'm in Taurus North Node, right?
Oh my God, my allergies are acting up now because I
Oh
know that.
no!
I'm just
I
I'm
thought for
totally
sure if we were
Hey,
online, you wouldn't smell them.
kidding.
stop giving your Pisces ascendant so much to do.
If
Going
you know
back
how
to when she has to read my lips because I go on mute, there was an entire show where we were off. The audio was off, and we did just fine because of her Pisces ascendant.
Well, see, now that was a fantastic use of that Pisces
It was
ascendant.
really good. It was really good.
I don't know if I could do that. I can't hear you.
It was so smooth, but that's probably just my memory. So let's talk about Pisces a little bit. So things I've gotten my Pisces moon sister. I brought her out to Seattle after she had done a lot of stuff and said I needed her help. And so she came right away. And then I just introduced her to all the people I had bragged on her about and had her meet all my friends. And we went to a thrift store and my friend picked out clothes for her and we got to do all kinds of fun stuff. But it was sort of, and we've talked about this before, Tracy, where you do an unexpected thing that takes the sign out of its expected place. So helping is a Pisces thing. So it was irresistible to offer her that. I paid for everything, so she didn't have to worry about it. But there was certainly enough to worry about because she would be away from her family and she would take care of them from afar. And so there was all of this stuff set up so that she didn't have to think about it. And it was specific to what she had done before. That felt like a good gift.
Hmm.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, I have a few
You're still in the
Pisces. Oh, sorry. What were you
You're
saying?
still in the mood to give.
Yeah, Leslie's signing up for one of those. I got a stack of them in the back.
Well, I was just thinking, like, so Pisces being the most mutable of all the
Right.
signs, right? I think about the Pisces moon people in my life, and they're all so different
Mhm.
in that, like, a couple of them would likely love to do something like donate their time. If I was to set up some kind of thing where we could go volunteer somewhere, they would love that.
Yeah.
But then I think of somebody in my immediate family who would not get as much out of that and would prefer a thing.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's a bit, I think to me, the Pisces moon is the trickiest because it's so mutable.
Yeah.
Well,
Now that I think of all the other Pisces moons, I know it's a wide spectrum.
Yeah.
well, what about going to a painting night in a bar?
Isn't that fun? I love
Yeah.
that.
Well, and I had thought that for the fire signs too, like doing something
Yeah.
creative, right? I
Yeah.
think the fire signs would like.
Even the Libra, but it would almost be I've hired the painting house for the night. Let's fill it with your friends, right? So you take the work away from them, but they get to pick all the people. Because I think about Libra, not to shift too hard into it, but I kind of think about Libra as it's not the most refined, but I think about my chart going up against I don't have any air in my chart. I am mystified and they are so skilled. So what would I do? Get them a stationery book, an address
No,
book? I don't know. What would
no,
Libra get? A painting night at a bar.
yeah, or well, anything that social.
I was
Yeah.
going to say a
Social.
date,
Yeah,
Yes.
time with you.
or take them to a party where they don't know anybody
Oh, fun.
because it's like new people,
Oh, I love
like
that.
new people.
That's so much fun.
Now, and of course, for Geminis, give them a phone. Give
Right.
them a phone.
To connect. Isn't that interesting?
Or yeah, I always like I for a while I was working on a, and I might resurrect it one of these days, a series of T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
So and Aries was running with scissors.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's it. So for an Aries, you could give them a sword. They probably really like that.
Somebody actually bought me that book for Christmas when I lived in Vancouver.
Which
That's
book?
so
Running
fun.
with Scissors. Yeah, there's a
Oh,
book
there is a
called
book,
Something
that's
About
right.
Running with Scissors. It's a memoir, and somebody actually bought that for me.
We've talked about before those places where you can go break stuff. Do you know about those, Lesley?
Oh no!
Well, you can go break like I think they've got you can shoot stuff or with air pellets, yeah, and then you can hammer stuff and you can. It's just set up to break, to cut loose.
And be physically active, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I could
with your
definitely
moon
see
in
the
Aries,
Aries
So
doing
with your
that.
moon in Aries, like paintball, Tracy?
My knees don't like paintball.
No,
The
this is
idea
so
of
sedate.
paintball is exciting.
I mean,
There's
paintball
you know what?
is
Do
so
you know
physical.
what would be so easy for anybody to do would be to set up a risk game for
Yeah.
me and with me because
Yeah.
nobody will play with
Oh
me.
my gosh, we should
Really?
play
Why?
Risk.
Because you
We should
always
play.
win?
Yeah,
It's such a long game, and I think people,
that's true.
I've got Dune at my house, the board game, and it took us 2.5 hours to read through the rules, and we haven't picked it up since. And also, like to have two people for Dune is ridiculous.
That's the other thing air signs would like is games.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
fire signs too.
I agree.
Fire signs
I
like games.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed for sure. Yeah, I think to me the water signs want something emotional, something that, tickles an emotion if you're able to find that thing.
Yeah.
The earth signs, they're looking for something more practical. I was thinking about my my Taurus moon husband and in the beginning coupons, affection coupons, big. That was very popular.
Yeah.
And I think that most Taurus moons, if it's cute and say you had to put a price limit on your shopping one year, absolutely. Whereas a Capricorn, it would have to be like things that you could do for them to save them time, right?
Yeah, yeah, and also for Capricorn, I mean, you just have to accept that if you don't meet the bar, they might not want your gift that year. There's definitely been I think I bought I've gotten him a pepper grinder, but then I've also gotten him like an espresso machine, you know what I mean? And in terms of money and stuff, I love gifting, especially in this moving into the Pluto and Aquarius time. I absolutely would gift people I don't know something that would be significant if it made sense. Past examples have been mamas who are bringing babies home, but they can't get the baby home unless they have a car seat. And I happen to have a car seat, so I shipped it to them so they could finish. They were still pregnant. Um, uh, Passing things along, I feel like in a community is a really beautiful gift thing. And then in terms of money, I try not to think about it. I tend to want to spend as much money as I can, like, or not have it be a factor. But then it's that thing of that has to be finely tuned. People don't understand value necessarily, or they don't do monetary value. Oh, I love that. So Lori says in the chat, my moon is in Libra and I love getting and giving games. That's so
nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and the other thing about Capricorn and Leo
Yeah.
is it better be good quality.
Well, that's what I'm saying, the refinement, right? And
Oh, I didn't know that's what you meant by refinement. Sorry.
yeah, the quality bar has to be
Because
there.
for Capricorn, if it isn't going to last their entire life.
And this is we're talking about 25 and up, guys. We're not talking about your kids. We don't know. I don't have kids, so you're going to have to tell me about, or Lori will have to tell me about buying stuff for kids. What I've heard is put them first, get out of their way. I did send, there's my niece likes this little book about cat warriors, and I found their merch site and sent her a pillow with her clan on the pillow, and it turned out to be a good thing, but she's getting gift cards from here on out.
Well, as I said, I used to shop for specific gifts when my grandchildren were younger.
Yes.
I was trying to find little games and all kinds of
Right.
things. And, as they got older, like my youngest grandson this year, I always ask, what would you like for Christmas? He sends me a list that includes 2 items, lightning cords for his iPhone and socks. So
I love
thought,
that child.
so is everything else on your list you think is too expensive for Grammy's budget? Because I'm sure that's not all you want. Because he's got that reality, the 3D reality.
Oh, the virtual reality.
The virtual reality stuff.
Yeah.
I know he was in my basement. Can I go down? Because I don't have a finished basement. Can I go down to your basement? Okay, whatever works for you. So then his mother.
I'm going to send some drywall down there. Make your Grammy proud.
Anyway, so then my daughter-in-law tells me that she's already purchased the lightning cords and the socks, and so
You're off the hook.
Just give him a gift card. It's like, okay, whatever.
Right, it's
Maybe,
a big deal.
Not. I'm determined. I don't know what it is, but this is when I'm going to ignore and do what I want. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, there is something to be said about a grandma knowing what her grandchildren want. There's something to be said about that. It can't be messed with. And even when we've given gifts, we 5 years ago moved across country. And so we're with entirely different groups of kids. And so just, we've got that habit of, I had like 5 or 6 puzzles, to give out to the kids for Christmas. Or I went and got amaryllis, the beautiful single stalk with the gorgeous flowers that blooms around Christmas. I got one of each of those because you can get them wrapped in wax, and all you have to do is put them down and they'll grow. Do some watering.
I need one of those.
Right? I mean, it's fun to kind of touch into that stuff. But then the next part, oh, hey, Marjorie's watching on her big TV. Thank you so much for joining us. What's your moon in, Marjorie? No. Yeah, we are. Yeah. But those kinds of things, I also find not giving, sometimes like the parties where no one's giving stuff and you don't show up with a lot because you're keeping the vibe right,
Well, our astrological society used to have a Christmas party and everybody bring a gift under $20, and then there would be, I don't know what you call it anymore because of all the political correctness. I don't know what you call it anymore.
White elephant.
White elephant. Yeah, still.
Yeah. So, we used to call it Chinese here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then it was something else. And now it's white elephant. And that was always fun because there'd always be one or two things that everybody wanted. And it was most interesting to see the lengths to which some people would go to get
And
what
it's
they
such a
want.
nice way to fill the time, just kind of seeing what everyone's up to. I love that.
We do a white elephant with my family, and a couple of years ago, so we used to white elephant a lot socially in my social group, but it was always a lot of joke and a lot of re-gift, and
Yeah.
it was who brought the craziest thing
Mhm.
to the party. But when my family started doing it, it was much more serious gift giving, and I decided, I don't know why, to bring a joke gift a couple of years ago. And as I'm watching people pick, I'm realizing that the person who gets to choose last is the person who's not going to want a joke gift, but she's decided I usually bring the best gifts. So she's been
Oh.
saving herself. So we have these plastic bottles of wine that have been making the circuit now for several years. So you never know who's going to end up with the plastic bottle of wine. And I had it that year. And so I threw it in a box, and I also threw in like a Christmas hat that I had. It was this great toque, and she did not even hide her upset. And it was the worst, like, because I could see it unfolding, and I knew the direction it was going in, and I
I'm
wanted
getting
to stop
tears.
the freight train from
Like from the most fun to the least fun, right?
never will I buy a joke gift in those circumstances ever
I
again.
did a lot of that. Like you, Lesley, I really like unusual gifts, and I will troll websites across the world to get them. It's relentless. And so in the first years of my brother-in-law's marriage, I was obsessed with the breakaway glass on TV shows. And I found a company that made sugar glass in Los Angeles and sent everyone in our families breakaway glass so that they could break a wine glass for Christmas. And they all, I think they're still like, what
What the hell?
happened there? What was that? And
You
all I'm
forgot to
doing is
send
just
the instructions.
imagining these fantastic, like you leave it out on your plate and then it's Christmas and you're like, hey, everybody, I want your attention, or yeah. So,
Maybe if they'd taken those presents to a Greek restaurant, they would have understood.
well, I wish I'd had the temerity to ask for them back. But my suspicion is they all found a way to break their glass.
And
I
they
would
just,
think so.
yeah. So, yeah.
So
Well,
have we not? Is there anybody we haven't talked about?
well, do we want to? I don't know. Does anybody in the audience have a question, or
Yeah, we're happy to answer any questions if you all are
you're looking
interested.
for gift ideas? You may not want to turn to us, but we're here.
Or tell us your moon sign and tell us what your best
Exactly.
gift is. That would be awesome too.
Ooh, I love that.
Ooh. Lori already told us games.
That's right.
And I think air sign moons are definitely anything where they can interact. So
Where
with
you get
Gemini,
to
it
be
might be a
together.
gadget, Libra, likely to be more one-on-one. What about Aquarius?
Well, so if you're going to give me a gift card, to my favorite clothing store would be nice.
Ooh, yes.
That's my my Leo
That's
ascendant.
just
But,
smart for anyone to do, is to encourage you to buy more clothes because
a
your
gift
tastes
card to
are
my favorite
exquisite.
restaurant. Like if you're going to give gift cards,
Yes.
like I have specific needs. No,
You can have specific.
I love books, so you can always give me if you don't know what books to buy me. Like my daughter-in-law loves reading mysteries as much as I do, and my son gives me a list and tells me what her favorite authors are, but he doesn't tell me which book she might want because both of the authors are fairly prolific, and I don't know which one she's already read.
Ah, interesting.
So,
Yeah.
like that's when you have to get just if you, I think that there's a degree of reciprocity that's required here. So if you're going to ask people for a list, then you should probably give them a list and be specific because you don't want to end up with, you don't want to open it and go, I've already read that book. Or or if you're like me and you have South Node in Libra, which is also interesting, connected to the moon, is that I'm going to be polite and not say I've already read that book, although my face might.
Sure.
I was
So
going to say your face doesn't hide those things very well, actually.
I know when I was a little girl, if I wanted something, I'd walk up to my dad and he'd know, and he'd say, "Whatever it is, the answer is no." And at the time, I thought it was funny, but I'm not so sure upon further reflection.
Right, right. There might have been other answers that could have been more helpful.
Well, you could tell he wasn't being serious, but still.
You know, I was thinking of the occasion of, I don't know if this has ever happened to you two, but I had a boyfriend once who I would, once we had moved in together, it was a long-term relationship. We were trying to outdo each other on handmade gifts. I think he still has like beadwork that's half done for some belt he was going to make me our 3rd year into the relationship 40 years ago. Do you know what I'm saying? And I would do the same thing. I just, I loved him so much. I was like, I'm going to make you this amazing thing. And then eventually we just stopped giving each other gifts because we had spoiled it, kind of, sort of.
It became a competition.
Yeah. And it's weird because I've had that happen with friends and stuff. There are some cultures where you do outgift each other, and a gift is not just a thing you rest on, you give it back. And, I've had all kinds of interesting engagement like that. So it is like, when I think about buying gifts, I think be light, make sure you've, taken care of yourself, get yourself uncentered. The moon is so fun because as a person who considers themselves quite Piscean and Scorpionic, mostly water, I feel like I'm getting information, but it's still good to ask, right? I think at this point, it's still good to ask what makes you satisfied, and then after you've given a gift, did that gift satisfy you? Because, I've had to train myself on what satisfaction is. And once I did that, it made me reliably happy. So
Well,
I want to spread the word.
Well, it's funny because my middle son, let's put it this way, his wife does most everything.
Sure.
Most everything. And so
She's the kind of wife that makes us all want a wife.
and then so the joke has become, so Luke, did you actually pick that card out for me? And a couple of years ago, I actually picked that card out for you, Mom. It's like, hallelujah.
I love that.
So, it's learning to understand that, gift giving is important to me. And what I wanted to say is that we also can give the gift of our time.
Yes.
Right. So, and I think that probably the three of us are very good at doing that, generally speaking, anyways. So we may not always value the time that we give to our friends, to our family, to our community. And sometimes maybe we need to think about giving ourselves a gift. And which reminds me, so when I was growing up, my dad would always buy himself a present for Christmas.
There you go.
And finally one year I said, "So Dad, why do you always buy yourself a gift?" He said, "Because when I think he was somewhere between 17 and 19, I don't remember. He said, all I got for Christmas was," what did he say? 9 pairs. I don't remember the number of pairs of socks he got.
He knew the number.
And well, he was a Leo, and he was a Leo with a moon in Aquarius. Nobody had thought to give him anything that meant anything to him. They just got him socks. So he said, I made sure that every year I would get something that I really wanted. So, there's the other part of the flip of the coin. As we're talking about gift giving to other people, maybe we should also consider what we would like to give ourselves as a gift for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Agreed. And also, be brave with your gift giving. There's so many cool things out there that make perfect sense. But so I came across, you can buy knitting boxes that gives you everything you need to make a sweater. There, and all of these neat things, paint by numbers, and all these creative things that are
cross cross.
Yeah. And so stuff that like those are not likely things people are going to buy for themselves.
Right.
And if they don't like it, they can re-gift it to somebody who would.
Yes.
Which is also not the worst gift to give, you
Oh,
know?
no. I deliberately send stuff to people that they will pass on because I know how fun that is. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm talking about like a care package, so many things for that one thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I don't like buy a wife a shirt for her husband and go, okay, we're all done here.
well, you never know. No.
You never know. You never know. And also, I think I have to say it's okay not to give material things. It's okay to feel like you have too much, and it's okay to hear people when they're not in a receiving space. So it's worth it to know it may not land. You're trying to focus on the other person. Your relationship lasts far longer than a gift exchange. Yeah, it's
Well,
an interesting process, the gift giving.
and the regifting, like for instance, if someone gave you something, like one year I think my dad gave, I can't remember what it was, and I thought, what about me made you think that I would?
Right.
And it was after my mother passed, right? And so,
Oh,
you know, she was the one who did, I think, most of the gift buying. Not
oh,
because he didn't want to give gifts, but well, she liked to be in charge of everything. So, um, he was doing his best, and
of
so
course.
I ended up regifting it to someone, as obviously someone not in my family circle, so that he would, because he was a Leo and his feelings would have been hurt.
Yeah.
Um, and so regifting things that you've received that don't, or even like sometimes,
There's such
I buy,
light,
I buy, I buy a book for myself and then realize I don't really want to read it. So
yeah. Or even on the other side of it, I got this really cute little ceramic frog my husband's grandma made. And when she made them, she gave them out to all of her siblings and her daughters. And one of her daughters gave it to me. And it's just the littlest thing. But I mean, I'm okay. You know what I mean? Materially, I'm doing all right. I'm trying to get rid of a lot of stuff. So I'm not necessarily in a place where I need material things. I like gifts of time or getting to hang out. I like that kind of stuff too. But anyway, I feel like we covered everything. That was a very exciting.
I just wanted to say one more thing before we sign off. And it goes back to Lesley mentioning you guys talking about asking for lists. And I think that you don't have to even buy the things on the list, just find the common thread in the things on the list. And then you can still surprise people, if you can figure out what the common thread in the list is.
well,
Yeah.
it's funny because I think that, and maybe this is from my childhood experience, it didn't, the fact that I asked for something and I got it didn't lessen the pleasure of getting it at all.
Oh, I agree.
And it's funny because last year my daughter-in-law said she'd really like a Lainey Wilson album on vinyl.
Oh, there you go.
So I got her that. And it was like she was surprised, which tells you that people don't always expect to get whatever they've asked for.
We've kind of been batting around, the processes of getting to gifts. And there are a lot of etiquette books and a lot of social norms that we're batting around that make it difficult to see each other and to see what it is that you would like and you would like and I would like. And I love that we've kind of peeled that away today.
Yeah, and I think with moon signs, that old adage that, buy somebody something that you would like, that's a sun sign thing. A moon
Right.
sign thing is
Ooh, I love
very
that.
personal, and it's something that, it doesn't take yourself out of the equation, and you're going to give way better gifts.
Yeah, like Lori says here, one man's junk is another man's treasure. Isn't that the truth?
And you can still be grateful for a gift that you're not going to keep. Like
That's right.
It doesn't lose the gratitude in just somebody thinking of you, that's special on its own. So
Exactly.
yay. Well, thank you, Lesley, so much for being here. This was a fun convo. And if anybody wants to go to the YouTube channel and leave comments about their best gifts or, and their moon sign,
Yeah.
great. We'd love that. All right, I'm going to sign us out. And thanks again, ladies. We'll see you next week.